So Eevee and Leaf finally got their grid expansion, which is good. And the other day, I actually did a little bit of a showcase for them during the Unova Champion Stadium. But I thought I'd dedicate a video towards them because they are finally one of the last 5-star Singing pairs to get a grid expansion, which is good. But regardless, they are still not that good. I mean, they're good, but they're not the best because we still have like Swanna, Xerneas, and a bunch of other supports that are better, that can do more than Eevee and Leaf. But regardless, with their grid expansion, they are able to provide better or more for the team, which is great because with Potion, getting MP refresh and a bunch more, it's going to help them a lot. And having more variety and more options for other teams to have Potion now, the better, obviously. But with them having Impervious, you don't have to worry about them losing out on defense, because in some events, they tend to lower your special defense and physical defense. So with Eevee having Impervious, you don't have to worry about that. So they're going to be able to tank regardless. Because when you get them to 6 stars, their special defense and physical defense will be going up to around 260. So that's going to be pretty solid. And then when you start increasing your physical and special defense, they're going to be tanking pretty well. So in that aspect, they're going to be solid. But in terms of everything else, they're okay. They are lacking a little bit on some things, but we'll get into that in a bit. So on their grid, on the bottom right, they're going to have Potion Master Healer 2. So for Potion now, they're going to be healing a bunch more, which is great. And along with Potion Master Healer 2, they're going to have MP Refresh for Potion and another MP Refresh for Potion. So the chances of you getting an MP Refresh is going to be higher, which is great. And that allows you to heal more and survive longer in battle, which is always going to be good. And then along with that, they're going to have Tackle Stoic 1. So when you use Tackle, you have a chance of raising your defense, which is good. And with Impervious, you don't have to worry about your defense getting lowered. So that's going to be really, really good right there. And we also have Tackle Power-Up. So Tackle is going to be hitting a little bit more damage, but they're not a DPS, so you don't want to rely on damage with Eevee. And then along with their grid at the bottom, they have Adrenaline 1, but I don't really recommend picking this up because there's other stuff that you could pick up that would benefit them more. But if you're trying to go for a certain build, then I guess you can pick that up. But on the bottom right now, or the bottom left, we have Let's Go Barricade Buddies. So now Let's Go, like when you use Let's Go, you're going to have a chance of, or you're going to be raising special defense as well. So if you were to pick that up and have Stoic 1, you will be increasing your special defense and physical defense, which is going to be good. And then we have more Tackle power-ups along with Let's Go MP Refresh 2 and another Let's Go MP Refresh 2, which is going to be pretty solid because Let's Go also restores 2 move gauge, which is good. So every time you get a move gauge refresh or MP refresh for Let's Go, the better, because then you don't have to worry about move gauge issues for some sync pairs, which is good. And on the top left, they're going to have Power Flex 5, so Iron Tail and Tackle will be hitting a little bit more the more move gauge you have. And then we have some Iron Tail power-ups along with Potion Friendman 9. And Friendman 9 acts like a full restore now if you were to pick this up on their grid. In the description it says, when a move targeting an ally sync pair, excluding field effects, is successful, removes all status conditions from the ally sync pair affected by the move. So, like I said, it's going to act like a full restore. So if you were to pick that up, Eevee's Potion is going to be almost like Torterra's full restore, which is going to be good. And then with that, you have all these Potion MP refreshes as well. So in terms of healing, Eevee will be very good. But everything else, Eevee is solid. And then we have Tackle Move Gauge Refresh 9, so that's like a 90% chance that you're going to get a Move Gauge Refresh with Tackle. And with Tackle being a 1 move gauge, you're going to be using Tackle for 0 move gauge when that takes effect. And that's going to be like 90% of the time. So that's very good. That's very, very good. And then we have Tackle Staggering 2. And then you have a chance to flinch the target when you use Tackle. And with it costing 0 move gauge like 90% of the time, this is good. This is good. Because you can just constantly spam it while you have your strikers do the damage. So you don't have to worry about anything. So almost you can have the target flinch like 100% of the time basically, because you don't have to worry about move gauge with Tackle Move Gauge Refresh 9. So that's good. That's definitely very good. And then we also have Recuperation 1, so restores the user's HP after using a sync move. So again, depending on the build, you might want to pick that up. And then on the top right, we have Endurance. So if the Pokemon enters the battle with full HP, allows it to endure the next hit it takes. That would reduce it to 0, so that's pretty solid, but again, it just depends on the situation. Because if you were to get Sync moved, you're going to die regardless if you have Endurance, because the Sync moves bypass that. And then you also have Iron Tail on a roll 1, so raises the chance of lowering the stat values with the additional effects and moves. And Iron Tail has the chance to reduce the defense of the enemies. So with this, and then added on with Defense Crush on their Lucky skill, if you want to go with that build, that would be pretty solid, because then it's going to help physical attackers on the team. And then you have Iron Tail Move Gauge Refresh, along with some Iron Tail power-up. So Eevee's grid is okay. It could have been better, yes, but the real potential lies within that potion, because you have Potion Master Healer 2, along with a bunch of Potion MP refreshes, and if you were to pick up Potion Friendman 9, it's going to be acting like a full restore, so that's going to be really, really good. Because the only full restore sync pair we have in the game is Torterra and Dawn. And now Eevee being able to use Potion and act like a full restore is going to be great. So in terms of healing, like if you have someone that's very self-sufficient, like for example Diantha and Gardevoir, you can have Torterra and then Eevee on the team, and then you're going to have a bunch of full restores ready to go basically, which is going to be good. I wouldn't really recommend that kind of team, but I mean, I guess it's possible and doable. Since Gardevoir is very self-sufficient, so like when you have sync pairs that are self-sufficient like that, maybe having a bunch of support on the team like that is going to benefit, but it just depends, I guess. But because Eevee does have Move Gauge Refresh, I guess you can say, for Let's Go, because when you do use Let's Go, it's going to be restoring 2 Move Gauge, so that would actually help Gardevoir as well, because then when Gardevoir Mega Evolves, her training move also gives 3 Move Gauge, so partnered up with Eevee, that's going to be pretty solid, I guess, but her best partner is going to be Xerneas and Professor Sycamore. But Eevee is going to fill in a nice spot on a bunch of teams as well if you are missing a support. Like, for example, in Battle Villa, if you do need an extra support with healing now, Eevee is going to be a nice little option there too, which is good. Same with Master Mode. Since we are using like a bunch of teams for Master Mode now as well, having another option for healing is going to be good, because Eevee is going to fill that role in pretty nicely, since it's going to be acting like a full restore, like I said. But other than that, like, Eevee is good. Like, I can't really give Eevee much more, because no matter how you put it, any kind of Pokemon in Sync Pair that do get a grid expansion is going to benefit from it, because it's pretty hard to make a Sync Pair worse when they get a grid expansion, because it is bonus stuff that they currently had. Because even just by getting Potion, MP Refresh, and Master Healer, Eevee was already going to get much better in that way in terms of healing and providing with healing. So I'm happy with their grid expansion. It's not the best, of course. They're not the best support either. Because you do have Swanna that does more than Eevee, I would argue. Same with Xerneas. Xerneas is miles away better than Eevee and Leaf. But in co-op, they will be pretty interesting because of their passive. But hopefully, co-op gets revived in the future. But with Dynamax coming in the future for the 2-year anniversary, I'm expecting co-op to actually get revived. But we'll have to see how they do it. But in co-op, Eevee will be much better, because then you could just stat up and everything, and then when you sync up or when you switch out, Eevee is going to be carrying those stats that she gained to the next sync pair that switches in, which is good. But besides that, like in single player and everything, Eevee is solid. You're probably mainly going to be using Eevee as healing and flinch support. But besides that, like, she's okay. I can't really say much else with Eevee. Pretty boring, but the healing I do really like, along with the tackle, flinch, and everything. That's going to be pretty solid. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of Eevee. Am I disappointed with it? Not really, no. I wasn't really expecting much, because honestly, I was going to be happy with just the Potion MP refreshes and the Master Healer. But we did get a little bit more than what I was expecting, but it's just nothing like too great. But at the end of the day, they did get a little bit of an upgrade to help them more and make them a little bit more usable, which is good. But let me know what you guys think of Eevee and Leaf. I don't know. they could have done more. But like I said, let me know what you guys think of it. That's going to be it for this video, and I'll see you guys later.